get ready with me, but I'm grounded. And you're like, Amber, what'd you do this time? And I think my dad arrested me for being too orange. I'm joking, obviously, but I am actually grounded. And it's so annoying because it was genuinely not intentional, like what I did. I'm grounded because my dumb self didn't wake up for school this morning, and then my dad was not happy with me. Oh my gosh. So I woke up to my grandpa banging on my bedroom door, and like he was like, oh, did you not wake up? And then he left. I just woke up like an hour ago and it's 3 p.m. Clearly I was very tired and I deserved that sleep. Guys, my tan is like fine everywhere, but like my hands are just botched. Like what the frick happened? I'm trying out the Fenty matchsticks because they sent them to me. This is the shade Mocha. Oh, I always do frick. Oh my god. I didn't do my makeup right. I'm supposed to do my concealer like right here before I do this. Frick, this is bad. Okay, it's fine, but anyways, I'm only grounded for today, so I guess like I'm not that upset about it. Usually when I make these videos, I'm very frustrated, but like I'm honestly tired and I've been sleeping the whole day. So being grounded today wasn't like the worst thing to ever happen. I knew my dad was gonna be mad, but like I couldn't do anything at that point because I had just woken up at the time where I was supposed to leave, so I was like, okay, well. And he was like very irresponsible, as if this happens every day. Like this is a one I don't think I've ever done this before. I think I've just been very tired and I don't really know why. I don't know. I didn't even have any plans today either, so like it was okay, because usually I would have plans on a Friday, but I don't. If I had plans, y'all would probably see me on here crying, so be thankful. I wish that self-tan worked on my ears, because I literally put self-tan on my ears and I knew it wasn't gonna work, but like I was hoping, and they're still freaking pale as can be. I literally zoned out and stopped talking because Pillow Talk came on, and I've been... Also, I'm sorry I haven't been posting for the last couple days. Like, I haven't posted in 48 hours. I don't honestly know how I managed that, but anyways, I just haven't been getting ready. I haven't had the energy to even get out of bed. But I finally got my recommended 18 hours of sleep, so I'm good now. It feels so late because I've been sleeping all day, but let me rant. I'm so happy to get my nails done because look at the state of them. They're literally chipping. And I asked somebody to pick up my nails for me, and you know what they say? Dark green. Frick no. Dark green makes me look pale. But anyways, I'm getting my nails done tomorrow with my mommy. There's so much stuff I want to talk about on TikTok, but I can't. Like, I can't do it. I need to scrub my hands. Like, I can't physically take myself seriously. The thing is that the self-tan on my hands never sticks. So honestly, like, if I have it this dark, then it'll probably last longer, hopefully. But this is low-key bad. But because I'm not doing anything today and it's only 3 p.m., I'm probably gonna like spam this account. God, I've never been this orange before. Like, this is bad. Also, it's finally time to do my lashes, and Kofi sent me this mascara. And then MCO Beauty also sent me a mascara, so we're gonna just try both. Oh, my face looks so much better with mascara. Like, you can't even make it up. Both mascaras are very nice. Do they look pretty? Okay, the lip combo of the day is shade Wherever Walnut in the Makeup Forever lip liner. I'm gonna try this. It's the Super Boost Makeup Forever in shade Juicy Peach. These are literally so pigmented. Ooh, that's pretty though. Ooh. Okay, I feel like a baddie. That unfortunately ate so good. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Anyways, now I'm ready and I have nowhere to go. So, thanks for watching. Bye!
Get ready with me while I tell you about my disastrous cheer tryouts. Like, think of everything that could go wrong during a tryout, and that's exactly what happened in mine. So basically, I was at home, right? I was practicing my cheer right before I had to go in, everything, dance, all of it. And when I say I knew all of the material like the back of my hand, I knew all the material. Like, it was low-key light. My mom comes and picks me up. It's just this like look on her face that I know all too well. It's that face like you know it's just bad news. Oh, I just scratched my concealer off. And for like a little background, my uncle has been battling with cancer for a couple of years now, so yeah. And so we've known that he's been like struggling with that, so it's like it's always been on our minds, like, because we already knew that he didn't have that much time left with us. So when she walks in, I just know she has like bad news for me, and of course she does, but it's not the news that I thought. She just says that he's in a coma and we're not sure how much time he has left, but probably just a couple hours. And meanwhile, my sister, she's texting me and she's like, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to come over here right now. Meanwhile, I'm literally I'm going into my cheer tryouts in literally like 0.3 seconds. Like I'm actually like what am I supposed to do? So like on the way to tryouts, like I'm already crying in the car, and she's like comforting me, and she's like saying like I think he'll hold on a couple more hours for you. Like don't worry about it. Go in there, try out, and afterwards I'll as soon as you're done, I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna take you over to their house. At this point in the story, I'm already in the gym ready for tryouts, and I'm number 3, so I'm about to go on. And my friends are like, my friend Allie was like, "Here, why are you so quiet? Like, don't be nervous, like, about the tryout. Like, you got this, right?" And so I'm just like, and Allie's like one of my best friends. Like, she's the closest person on the team. Like, hold on. I'm the closest to her on the team. And so I'm telling her, like, I basically tell her exactly what's going on, that I just found this news out, and I'm like so conflicted. And you know, as soon as you start like telling everyone like you're okay, you just start crying. So at that point I'm already crying, but everyone's like, all my friends are like coming around me, they're like, "Here, what happened?" And Allie's like, she's just really scared for her tryout. So in reality, that was not why I was crying. And my sister has just brought this to my attention, that I sound really fake and like ingenuine about my sadness, but I just don't know how to tell a story like being sad. Like, I'm not a serious person. And so everyone's like going around and everyone's telling me like, it's okay, don't be nervous, like you've already done this tryout, like don't be scared. And I'm just like, yeah, like I don't know. They call my number and I have to like wait in the hallway ready to be called in, and I'm like freaking out like badly. Like I'm in the hallway and I have a whole nother I have a whole nother episode and I'm sobbing in the hallway, and it's actually really freaking embarrassing. But I feel like the more you try and hold back your tears, the harder you cry. Because like really, I'm going in there and the entire I'm about to go in and all I can think about is, what if I miss like my last moments with him because I'm at cheer tryouts. And it just like, I don't know, like I really just want to leave, but I can't, like I don't want to spend another year like not cheering, you know? I feel like that's such an important part of my life that like just walking out and not trying out and not making the team would just be like, it would just like not be good. I go in, I try out, and guess what? I mess up on my cheer. I have to restart, and it was just like a bad tryout. Like it's hard to ask somebody to act so happy when they're not. Like cheers something definitely like you fake it till you make it. Like you just have to put a smile on your face and do what you gotta do. And I didn't feel like smiling and cartwheeling and spiriting and acting cheery, because I just found out like 5 minutes ago that my uncle was about to die. Like, girl. And guess what? I made JV again. 2nd year in a row I made JV. And so I was just like, but honestly, I'm not upset at myself because I did what I had to do. Like the fact that I made the team, knowing that I knew what I knew, like I was not disappointed in myself, because I knew like I would be more disappointed in myself if I went in and I did my best and I made JV. Like then it's like my best wasn't good enough to be on varsity. But I put my best out on the floor and I worked with what I did and I made JV. So I'm sorry this video is so long. It was just a long story and I didn't feel like making part 2. Anyways, bye guys.
Let's get ready, but let's talk about some recent school drama that's actually been getting on my nerves recently. So I'm gonna use code names for everyone. Me, Maya, Carolyn, Jessica. Those are gonna be the names, remember the names. Everything's going good, like this friend group is fun to hang out with. There's absolutely no drama at the school. If you see this on your For You page, comment For You page right now because you will want to be in tune with the whole video. So then of course, we randomly get a new kid. Never really spoke to him that day. We never really cared that there was a new kid even there. New kid, I think we're gonna call Jack. We always sit in the counselor's room for lunch. The lunchroom is so crowded, so we always go in there. Nobody else like bothers us when we're in there. And then he just shows up and is like eating in there, which we're like, what? I mean, it's fine, we all get along. But he is making some like really rude comments to my one friend, Jessica. So we're all still kind of like iffy of him. And then he proceeds to make rude comments about Jessica the next couple days that we see him. But of course, we can already tell that Maya likes him. She's like denying it and then finally tells my one friend that she does like him. Then she starts becoming friends with Jack. Jack has a girlfriend that goes to another school. So I come in like I do every day to talk to the counselor and Maya, and guess who's there? Him. So I'm just having a conversation, and then Maya wants to sneak diss me in front of this dude, which she has never done this before. Never once has she ever said something rude to me while a guy's right there. So then I'm just like, okay, whatever, and then I walk out, not thinking of it till yesterday. So then her and this dude get really close. They are constantly together. I cannot have a single conversation with her without him being there. Jessica ran into Jack at the park when she was taking photos with her boyfriend. And then she was like, hey, what's going on between you and Maya? Like, we all just like really want to know. And he's like, oh, nothing. Me and my girlfriend just broke up, so I'm not really trying to get into a relationship, and I'd just like to become friends with her. Which we're already like, what? Let's fast forward to this week because, again, he's there on Wednesday. He's with her, and it's just the literal same routine. We're like, are you guys dating? He's like, no. So at this point, we've just like given up. So yesterday, we went to school. They have a free period when I go to art, and I always like go to the bathroom to touch up makeup or of course use the bathroom. And she's like practically sitting on him while they're on the chairs together. And then we end up having a conversation. And I didn't realize that they were wearing matching outfits till my one friend pointed it out. And we were like, dude, are you guys dating? Because they're literally flirting so much at the lunch table. And this dude is like so freaky too. So Carolyn is worried about how freaky he is. And I'm like, are they dating? Because that's her best friend. Not only is she acting rude to me for no reason, but he's always around the corner. She's like, I honestly have no idea what's going on. So finally, he says yes, they're dating. And I am just so unexcited to go to school tomorrow. That was basically it, guys. It's just been really getting on my nerves recently, and I was like, why not make a video? Please let me know what you guys think, and tell me if I should do more story times, because me and my friend have a really good one. Bye, guys.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys a story about my fake best friend and how I became best friends with her sister. We're gonna use code names. So my ex-best friend is Pink, okay? So Pink was best friends with some other girl. We're gonna name her Blue. So Pink was friends with Blue, but I like been knowing Blue for a while, so we just all became a trio. Well, that's what I thought. So Pink invited me to a birthday party, so I went. So I went to the party, and then we started talking, right? And then Pink brought one of her friends that I never met. And like, Pink's sister was saying that that girl wasn't a good influence and that she just... So Pink goes and grabs her friend while I'm in the bounce house with Pink's sister. She takes her inside and she tells us to say hi to her. So I'm like, okay, like, hi. But then she like gave me a stink face. So I was like, okay, if you're gonna give me a stink face, then you could go with her and I'll just be with your sister. They gave all of us a stink face and then they just left the bounce house. And I told Pink's sister, like, is she okay? Like, should we talk to her? And they're like, no, she always gets like this. I was like, oh. The night goes on and I end up leaving. So before I left, I gave Pink a hug and I told her bye, and she just gave me a side hug and didn't even tell me bye. Like, okay, acting like that in your own home at a party is crazy, but okay. Mind you, the whole night that I wasn't hanging out with her, I was telling her sister, should I talk to her? Should I invite her? They were all like, no, because she always gets like this. There's no point in trying. I'm like, okay. But then when I get home, Pink texts me. She texted me talking about something that I left her out and that I was being rude. But I'm like, don't leave out the part where you left me to go with your friends. I look a little white, trust the process. But so then we're like arguing back and forth. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You do you and I'll do me. We don't have to be friends. But then they invite me to another party, but this time it wasn't Pink, it was her sister. So I go to a party and it's me, her sister, and her two friends. So we're all sitting at a table and then she just comes. We're all like, okay, like, whatever. But the only reason why she sat with us because Blue wasn't gonna go. And then, what was it? I think someone brought up that Blue wasn't coming. And then she was like, oh yeah, and have you guys seen her stories and everything she's been posting? She said that she was posting weird stuff and we're confused. We're like, oh, what is she posting? And then she pulled up the screenshots and everything and she was showing us. She showed us the screenshot and we were all confused because it was something that she shouldn't be doing and she was in a relationship. So I'm like, oh, isn't she in a relationship? And she was like, yeah, that's the weird part. I was okay. And then I tried switching the subject, but she tried to keep talking about her. So I'm like, whatever. And then we all had a group chat besides her, because, we had a group chat, so we were just texting that she was just trying to create problems. And then whatever, she goes to her room while we're in the living room, and we just all like start having fun. I'm inviting her to come hang out with us, and she's just ignoring me and saying that she's okay. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let her be, like I already asked her if she wanted to hang out. She said no, so I'm like, okay. Then we end up having a sleepover, and I invited her. I'm like, you wanna come with us? She said no, I'll sleep in my room. Okay. Whatever, the next morning, like we hang out, whatever, and then I go to my house. She texts me talking about something that I was leaving her out and that I wasn't inviting her. So then I'm like, no one left you out. I was asking if you wanted to hang out. You said no. I'm not gonna keep coming into your room every 5 minutes asking you if you want to hang out if the first time you said no. If you change your mind, I told her, if you change your mind, you could come. I told her that, so I don't have to keep going in that room. I just wanted to have fun. And then I end up texting her sister, like, I'm like, what is your sister talking about? And I send her screenshots. I end up texting her sister and telling her, like, what's going on with your sister? Telling me not to worry about her because she always gets like that with every single one of her friends. So then her sister starts talking to me and telling me that I don't need her, that she's just problematic. So then I'm like, you know what? If she's just trying to create problems with me, if she's gonna wanna fight all the time, I'm not gonna be her friend. So then her sister was like, okay, like, go ahead, like, no one's stopping you. So I stopped being her friend, and I stopped being friends with her sister, which is my best friend now. Our first ever hangout was at the movie theaters. It was so much fun. Wait, I left a big old part. So you know how I said that Pink was talking shit about Blue? Apparently when we left her out that day, she ended up texting Blue saying that we were talking bad about her. But she was the one talking bad about her. And I guess Blue believed her, and then she started saying stuff to me and my friend and her other friends, and how my friend was also friends with her. She was like, you're really gonna listen to that? So then they ended up becoming a duo, and I became a duo with her sister, right? But at the end of the day, Pink became fake to everyone. She switched up her whole style. She just became weird because she wanted to be about like boys. And I know she might be watching this because I have her blocked, and she'll be going on people's devices to look at my videos. So if you're watching this, yes, it's about you. Anyways, some people ask you for my lip combo. I got you. It's literally the same thing, but I get lip mask or like lip balm, whatever. Just put a little bit on your lips, but make sure they're not like glossy, so kind of like tweak it off, Then I grab my NYX lip liner in the shade Vintage, and then I just line my lips. It looks funny, right? And then just rub your lips together, and just like that. Just in case you guys were wondering, who's my best friend? This is all us preparing for a game. Before I go, I just want to say I'm so sorry for not being consistent. I've been so busy. But I'll definitely do another story time about how I got in a car crash. Anyways, bye.
I just got my teacher fired. So get ready with me story time on how me and my friends just fired my teacher. And basically we had this one teacher, and he was really nice. Okay, he gave us snacks, very loud, and I guess he was an okay teacher. But basically one day, me and my friends were in our, I think it was 4th period, and our history teacher comes in, which is the teacher I'm talking about in this story time. He comes and he hangs out in the science room, and then he's about to leave. On his way out, as he leaves, he makes the worst and the rudest joke ever. It wasn't even a joke anymore. It was actually just pure rude and mean. And he said it to one of us, and we thought that was just completely messed up. So probably about a week after this situation happens, we decide to actually do something about it. Because also, overall, he was kind of just a bad teacher. If I'm gonna, he literally just gave us all the answers to the test. I'd be thinking, oh my god, that is so good. Yes, it is, amazing, but, it's not how a teacher's supposed to teach. And also, he just put people in the spotlight when they didn't want to be in the spotlight. So the next week, one of my friends goes and reports him. And then I get called into the office, and I start sharing why I want him to be fired. And my reasons are pretty valid. He was also, kind of racist. He called me out for my race and told me to go outside. Girl, no. So I told basically my counselor about all that. And she's like, okay. she was writing it all down. After that happened, it kind of got awkward going into class knowing that our teacher actually knew about it. And then, like, a few weeks later, he was like, really have to talk to you guys. He talked about his life and how he's feeling right now. And then he actually completely just disappeared. He wrote a note on the whiteboard and was like, I need to focus better on my mental health, which we obviously agreed on. So, yeah, he kind of just left. And he never came back this year, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think all the reports, like, got to him, and I really hope he's better now. Okay, that was it. Love you guys. Bye.
Story time on the craziest girl at my high school. And I don't mean fun crazy. I know you guys have been waiting for the story times, and I'm finally all done with high school. So I'm gonna start doing like one really good one a week. I'm only gonna tell these stories from my personal experience. I don't want to spread like any false information, any false rumors. So if I don't know, I won't be sharing the information. But what I do know is that this girl came to our high school. I forget which year, but she came to our high school. She was all the rave. She was super pretty. She seemed to be super nice. I think I know why she came to our school, but I'm not for sure, so I'm not gonna say it. I never really had a big run-in with her until my best friend at the time started dating her ex. I always have heard things because she went through a lot of friend groups, and there was just always some kind of drama attached to that, you know? So anyway, my best friend starts dating her ex. They broke up. She said she didn't cheat. He said she did. She said, I don't know what's true, but basically he meets my best friend, and when I tell you, these two together are the perfect couple, I can't even explain. Like, they're so in love, they're gonna get married. If they don't, I don't believe in love. This girl also gets a boyfriend around the same time. They're both moved on. Great. No, not great, because she's not. She keeps finding ways to text her ex, which is now my best friend's boyfriend, so you know, it's unsettling. They're a happy couple. Leave them alone. He never answers her. He keeps blocking her. Eventually gets to the point where she literally is texting him through her friend's phone. She like sent him a song that like reminded her of him. I'm just like, what? You have a boyfriend. I remember my friend showing me like a DM where she was like, my mom saw you driving today. I was thinking of you. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, it gets to the point where she literally texts him through her friend's phone and is kind of like blackmailing him to talk to her in a way. I'm not going to say why, you know, those are her reasons. That's not for me to talk about on the internet. And my best friend is hanging out with her boyfriend. So, you know, she stands on business and is like, look, if you need to talk to him, like, I'll be right here on the phone with him, but you can call if you need. So the girl's like, never mind. So it's just kind of at a point where, you know, she has a boyfriend. She shouldn't be texting her ex. So this is where I come in. I'm very good at confrontation. I'm also very good with my words. So me and my best friend sit down and we type a long letter for her that's very nice and direct. It wasn't mean whatsoever. The worst part was the end where we were just like, look, if you need help from your ex, we're gonna have to screenshot these texts and send them to your boyfriend because what is going on? She reads the text, but she doesn't answer it. And of course we go to school that week and hear that my best friend apparently sent her some mean text. Obviously no one believed this because, you know, my best friend at the time is so unproblematic. Literally, no one batted an eye when she said something. No, it goes mute for a while, and then we're at the point where my best friend's boyfriend needs his clothes back from this girl. So my friend texts her the first time and asks, and she's just like, well, why doesn't my ex pick it up? Then my best friend fought back and said he doesn't want to waste the gas. So she pulls the I'm not home right now, which is fine. So my best friend texts again and asks for the clothes again, and just saying that she'll swing by to grab them if you leave them on the front porch. Swings by, no one's there. She doesn't get out of her car. There was really no response, so she just kind of went on with her life. And the girl then said she gave away all of his stuff, which didn't make sense for reasons, but I don't want to get the story wrong, so we're just gonna continue. Anyway, this girl's mom ends up texting the girl's ex's, my best friend's boyfriend, and the whole thing is kind of complicated, basically saying that my best friend and her boyfriend's little sister were like harassing this girl. Just everyone knows that that's not true. This girl's mom also called my best friend a horse. Like, what? Sorry, but if you're over the age of 30 and you need to talk crap about high school girls, what are you doing? Her mom has literally made so many girls feel bad about themselves, like almost bullied out of friend groups. Like, I know this is a fact for sure because I have witnessed it. But regardless of the fact, this whole thing just goes on for way too long, and I'm like walking in the hallway behind her and she just doesn't care about who's around her, I guess, because I just hear her talking about this whole scenario completely wrong. Like, she's telling the story. Oh, I messed up on those. Telling the story so wrong wrong in calling my best friend a fan. My best friend doesn't even say this girl's name, let alone act like a fan. And I made a story time about that whole kind of interaction as well, but I've been very careful about the story times that I share, because I did it once to this other girl. Actually, that girl might top craziest chick. I don't even know. I'm not gonna say that because that's mean, but I did do like a story time about homecoming drama, and she made it seem like I was bullying her because I was calling out all the bullying I went through being her friend. Like, what? That'll be another story time. I just don't understand. I'm trying to do these as graceful as possible because, you know, like, I'm not a mean person. I don't like to talk bad about people, but I'm not afraid to spill the truth. And like, right out of high school, no one probably knows who I'm talking about, but basically this whole encounter with this girl lasted like a year and a half, I swear. It's like she forgot me and my best friend at the time literally like lived through each other. Like, everything I knew, she knew. Like, it was like our lives were one, you know? So pretty much the craziest part of all that was just the fact that she still had a boyfriend. It's one thing if you're still hung up on your ex and like you miss him and are trying to ruin someone's relationship, but you have a boyfriend. And there's been other weird allegations with that relationship, but that's not for me to talk on. But I'm ready to go. I actually really like my makeup today. I think it looks super cute and summery. So I hope you guys have a great day. There's a little story time for you guys. I hope you like it. Peace out. Love you. Bye.
Story time on how these kids got caught doing the boombayah in my school bathroom. Okay, so boom, this all started literally yesterday. I was in my class, you know, sitting, being a normal student. Well, in this class, this is my third period, and we just got back from lunch, you know, whatever, just cool. I sit next to these two people for obvious reasons. I'm not gonna name drop, but their names are, for this story time, Zay and Bay. Okay, so basically, Bay, she's this girl that sits next to me in my third period, and she's just a quiet girl. She be reading some freaky books though, you know, Icebreaker, those type of books, like, those are the books she be reading. She's like, I guess, mysterious. Like, I don't like to use that word, but like, yeah. Because anytime I ask her any questions about her in her like relationship, because she's dating Zay, the guy that actually she used to sit next to, but she had to get moved because they kept on making out in front of the whole class. Mind you, we sit in the front, but she still sits next to her man or whatever. So they have, it's not a far distance. It's like just one seat gap in between them, so they can talk perfectly fine together. We were going over some like slides and stuff in that class, and while we were going over the slides, Zay decides to go up and go get the boys' bathroom pass. And like, you know, as one would, you go get the boys' bathroom pass if you want to use the bathroom. So he goes to use the bathroom, and a little bit like 15 seconds later, Bay is getting up and she's getting the girls' bathroom pass. Although they literally sit next to me, I wasn't really peeping the fact that like, oh wait, they're both going to the bathroom at the same time. And they're dating. And clearly they're comfortable to do whatever at school if you're giving the whole class a show with your makeout session. So like, nobody's really thinking about like, oh wait, they just like low-key, you know, went. My friend was the reason why I low-key peeped the fact that they went. She was like, Janae, you know, blah blah. But to be honest, I didn't really care because I was just trying to pay attention. Like, I should have been, like they should have been. And also, I wasn't really trying to jump to any conclusions, but silly me, I should have. When I get to one of my classes, someone tells me that they were in the bathroom when Zay was in the bathroom, and that might not seem like a problem, but it is. By the way, just to get this clear, this is happening in the boys' bathroom. So Zay comes in and he's like, he asks my friend if he can leave because he's about to do something with his girl. What? I'm sorry, but like, I'm a little taken aback. Like, you're asking somebody that was already in the bathroom to leave so you can do something with your girl. Okay, just okay, I guess. So the person told me this. They said that they left the bathroom and you know, now Zay and Bay are both in the same stall. They're in the bathroom. They alone. But you know, my friend, he obviously was lying. He came back, bro. He came back inside the bathroom just after he left. Because one thing about it, you're not about to tell somebody to get out the bathroom and expect them to actually get out the bathroom, especially when you say all that. I'm about to do something with my girl. And a few things he heard when he went back in there were said. You know, of course there was noises. You know, if you put two together, I hope you can assume what Zay and Bay were doing in the stall. But if you haven't, let's just say Zay and Bay were cracking in the bathroom. And before I get anywhere farther, one of the things Zay said to her before, you know, he started doing, yeah. He says, sorry, it's small. I'm not blank right now. I'm not going to say it, but like, you know, I'll put it. I'm going to just let that sink in real quick. So later that day, I go tell my friend about like this new learned information. So I could tell her like that's what they were doing in the bathroom. Because we were going to ask him like right after like class ended. But, you know, we just didn't get the chance. But now with this newfound information, I told her. So next day comes forward. Today, I go in the classroom and everyone is talking about it. I came a little bit early, so like majority of the class was there, but like majority of it was talking about it. So I sit down and mind you, in this class, Zay sits like right in front of me. But everybody's talking about it. By the way, the friend I told this information to was in there. So I'm assuming she told everybody what I said. So now Zay is slowly turning towards me, and he starts staring at me with like the most unsettling face like ever, bro. So now everybody's like trolling him like the whole entire morning for cracking someone in the bathroom. So now skip forward to when I get to my third period or whatever. I don't think they're gonna do it again. Because mind you, they did it in the third period yesterday. Why would they do it today? Especially after how much he got trolled for it. But it seems like he didn't learn his lesson because next thing you know, he's going to reach for the boys' pass and he leaves, and so does, you know. And one of the people that wasn't there when everybody was like trolling him like in the morning when I got there, sat next to me, so I was telling her about it. So I told her and she was like, oh wait, I should snitch. And people were telling her not to. But the only reason why she would snitch is because like she doesn't like him, you know, she doesn't like Zay. They already had their own issues like from the beginning of the year and probably prior to that. But she decides not to. But now everybody's curious. Everyone's starting to peep the fact that they're both gone again after what happened yesterday. So somebody goes out there and like they sneak out since the boys' pass is already gone, so they sneak out and go to the bathroom. They basically just saw them in the same stall again. Clearly, he didn't learn his lesson. He got away with it yesterday, and he probably thought he was going to get away with it today, but he didn't. The bathroom and our classroom door is literally right next to each other because there's 2 doors in the classroom. So now everyone is going to get tissues and pretending to blow their nose outside the door because they're trying to see, like, what's going on. So eventually the teacher gets up because, you know, a lot of people are starting to get up, go to the door, and try to see what's happening. There's actually people outside the classroom, not from my class, but like other people from other classes, and they were doing classwork outside. So they were like doing the classwork like right next to the bathroom. And those people saw Bay and Zay go into the same boys' bathroom because, mind you, Bay is a girl, remember, and Zay is a boy. So it's kind of weird. Like, what? I don't know why I said kinda. It is weird. And they start talking about it, and the teacher overhears that, and she's like, what? Because she was already looking for the girls' bathroom because like they've been gone for like maybe like 2-3 minutes. So the teacher goes into the girls' bathroom, and she sees that, you know, Bay's not there, so where could she be? And people were already like saying like stuff like she's in the boys' bathroom, blah blah blah. So now the teacher, she's going into the boys' bathroom to go check. And eventually, after, you know, she already peeped the fact that they're both in the same stall. Eventually, Zay comes out of this stall, and he's like leaned up on like the door, and he looks mad and whatever, as if it's not his fault. Like, why are we all what? Bay is literally scared because, mind you, she's like the quiet kid. Like she just doesn't look like she's someone that gets in trouble, you know. But remember, she do be reading them freaky books, so maybe she was trying to recreate some of those things she saw in the book. Trying to create icebreaker too. And since Bay's too scared to come out, the teacher asks one of the students to go call admin, and you know, admin does come, aka the principal. I don't know how he does it, but he ends up making her come out. Now she's leaned up on the locker, is literally crying. A little bit before we even peeped that Bay was crying, Zay came to the door frame, and the principal was trying to like pull him away because, like, I don't know, he was low-key crashing out. He literally started crashing out. He was like,
Who ratted me out? Who ratted me out?
Eventually, the principal was able to pull him away or whatever, and you know, that was the end of that. But for all I know, they're probably suspended now. Well, they should be. But for all I know, they're either suspended or whatever happened to them. Maybe even sent to alternative school. But hopefully it was worth it wanting to clap some cheeks in a public school bathroom. Especially in the grade that we're in, I know nobody should be doing that. Even whatever grade you're in, you should not be doing it in a bathroom. Or especially in our grade at all. Moral of the story, do not be doing the Boombayah in school bathrooms or any type of bathroom. Honestly, that should be common sense though, so it's not even like a moral of the story, that's common sense. But I guess common sense isn't so common, so, you know, gotta let people catch up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching my story time, and bye-bye.
Get ready with me for a fight. So basically, this girl wants to fucking fight me, y'all. Like, if you know me at school, I'm like one of the sweetest people. Like, I mind my business. I don't talk to anybody. Like, I have my 4 friends that I talk to all day. No, 5 that I talk to all day. If you don't see me talking to them, then I have my headphones in and I'm minding my business. So there's this girl, not gonna say names, we're just gonna call her Mia. So y'all remember yesterday how I was talking about Sam and how he's a hoe, right? And how I wanted to mess with him, but he didn't want a relationship, basically. So I stopped talking to him. So I forgot to say good morning. Good morning. I was just too excited to tell this story. So he used to mess with this other girl named Bree before he started to mess with me. And Bree got really sad that, cause she really liked him, and so she got really sad that he didn't want to like be in a relationship with her, basically. So when he started messing with me, she got mad at me. So Miss Girl is mad at me, and she was like, and Simone was kissing on my boyfriend. First of all, baby, I didn't even kiss him. I never put my hand, that boy never put a hand on me. I never put a hand on that boy. So where did you get kissed at from? Because that never happened. So let me get into like what happened yesterday. So I was minding my business, and every little so often when I am in the mood, I go into the bathroom to see how I look, just to see if I have something on my face or something. So I go into the bathroom, and she happens to walk in before me. So I walk into the bathroom, and she happens to walk in before me, and I'm just checking myself in the bathroom, because every so often I just go in the bathroom and to see how I look. And she happens to go in before me. She says, when I walk in there, she says, I'm not gonna deal with this bitch, and walks out. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, babes. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's not talking about me. So then I get out the bathroom, I'm walking to my class, and she goes and says, she talking all this shit, but she not gonna do nothing. Y'all gonna have to go to part 2. Sorry.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys about the story that I got sent. So it started off by me meeting this guy a few months before COVID started. We were texting for a while, getting to know each other, and eventually I started to like him. We were going out, and eventually my girl best friend moved around my area. We were hanging out a lot, and I eventually told her about my boyfriend. She was happy for me, but then she started acting weird. She hits him up, and he ends up sending me a screenshot of her trying to get at him. She asked me if I wanted to hang out, so I was like, okay, sure. So whenever I went to her house, I ended up confronting her about it. She got mad at me and told me why I would ever think that she'll hit up on my boyfriend, but then I showed her the proof. After I showed her the proof, she kicked me out of her house, and I went straight to my boyfriend's house. When I went to my boyfriend's house, I told him what happened, and he told me to drop her. So then I dropped her, and then COVID started, so I couldn't see my boyfriend as much. We take a little break because COVID did start and we couldn't really see each other, but we'll still text seeing how we were doing. Then my best friend sends me a snap of them together. And the reason why they had a chance seeing each other more is because they were in a gated community together and they lived like 30 seconds away from each other. When she sent me the snap, she didn't have one boyfriend, but she had two. But then I stab her back and tell her what she's doing with my ex, and she just blocks me. But then I text my ex and I tell him that I want nothing to do with him and that I don't want to hear from him anymore. Moving forward to this year, we talked about it and made a solution. Now we're all good with each other, but we're not friends. Okay, that is the end of the story, but let me give you guys some feedback. First of all, that friend isn't your friend. And I hope that you cut contact with her, and if you did, good job. I know it's hard to cut off contact with a friend that you're best friends with, but if you did so, proud of you. And for your ex to be letting himself like that, and then your ex, he doesn't even have any respect, so don't go back to him. I know how girls be with their ex, just don't. At the end of the day, keep your head up and be careful on who you hang out with.
Story time, how I fought my own best friend. And sorry if my story times are super long, but I can't add the whole achievement into 60 seconds. Trust me, I tried and no. So long story short, I met this girl back in 2022. She was a lot younger than me. We were best friends. We became best friends like since the start, girl. Like when I tell you, she was super nice to me, whatever. But later on, it started to get a little more, ill vibes. Like we were cool to the point where I went to her house and stuff, like we would buy each other stuff. Like I bought her like ice cream, she would buy me little bracelets. Like it was a cute little friendship, I'll give it that. But fast forward a couple months pass and I started being friends with everybody else. Oh, here's a foundation because everybody keeps asking me for it and I keep typing it in the comments and apparently everybody ignores it, but here it is. But I genuinely think she didn't like the fact that I was like being friendly with other girls, like if she had a problem with the girl she could have told me, but she never told me nothing. Until this one time in particular, she really threw me off with the little comments she was making though. She was like, oh, like my uncle is from Colombia. If you know from Colombia, it's known for the booger sugar being really good. Not that I know. But she was like, yeah, he really is like that. Like, girl, like my family. And I was like, bitch, if you was a fucking Chapo 2.0 motherfucker, why the fuck are you coming to this ghetto school? Why don't you pay $1,000 to go to a private school? And the shorty just stayed quiet. I guess that's what kind of like bothered her because I literally humbled her. I was like, girl, what the heck? Like, don't try to claim something you are not. And ever since that day, I guess it just got under her skin. And then literally another week passes by and she's like, oh, I'm really a hood. And I was like, girl, what the fuck? And I literally told her, I was like, oh, so what's your, bandana color? Because, this girl hit me with a gray. Bitch, what the fuck you mean gray? Like this kind of gray? She was like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck does that stand for? She was like, it stands for peace. I seen the movie Boys in the Hood and all that bullshit, and I never seen none of that. So that's when I realized, I was like, I need to distance myself from this fucking bitch. The fuck? She false claiming and she swears she's a fucking narco.
what the fuck? So then she had invited me to her house, right? And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go to your house. Bitch, I go. This bitch live in the suburbs. I was like, this is what you call the hood? Bitch, I was youngin' with no fucking milk. I had to eat cereal right out the box. I had to get food from the cafeteria and bring it back home. I would eat my own boogers. Just kidding. Like, don't get me wrong. Her house was nice as fuck or whatever. Like, it was cool. Look, I have evidence that I went. For certain reasons, this is me and this is her. I went to her house, bro. But honestly, I was pretty shocked because I was like, girl, you say that you're from the hood and you live in a nice, pretty house. Like, don't get me wrong. That's good that you live in a nice home, you know? Hey. But after that, like, ever since that day, like, after that, bro, like, we just, like, I don't know. She would make, like, certain little comments, like, try to make me look bad in front of dudes. Like, she had that habit of trying to make me look bad in front of dudes. Like, this one time, she knew I liked this other guy, right? Tell me why. She's like, oh, you want my water bottle so you won't have to go to your car? We had gotten into an argument that day in class. I think I have the video. It won't let me upload it, but long story short, me and her I just called her desperate ass bitch, and she was like, for who? For who? So this is where things start to get, you know, a little escalated. So literally the principal had came for her to the class. He came for her. As soon as she reaches outside the door, she starts getting rattled up. Come find me, bitch. Come outside. I was like, ho, is you cool? Like, I know this girl ain't stupid enough to try to argue with two girls knowing damn well she about to get jumped. Like, and ever since that day, me and her fell out hard. Fast forward next year. This is already junior year. I had her for all my fucking classes. The principal and the counselor knew damn well what had happened between me and her the year prior. Like, girl, when I tell you this girl was a big bully, like, she would talk so much shit. Like, I would literally be sitting in front of her and she'd be like, yeah, last time we argued and she didn't even do nothing. That bitch scary, fucking pussy ass bitch. Like, wait, no mames, güey, eres una pinche morrida, te puedo partir tu puta madre la verga. And this went on for, like, I think more than a month of her just talking shit. Like, she'll walk past by me, like, she'll laugh, she'll talk. Her and her little fucking minions would look at me and laugh. She was one of those fucking bitches that needed an army to laugh at me. So then there's this one day, I had her for this one class, right? She was talking to this one guy behind me and was like, oh, like, why aren't you and her friends no more? Y'all used to be best friends. This girl just started talking out of her ass and was like, oh, fuck that bitch, you know, she ain't doing nothing that day. I posted up with her. Mind you, she didn't even post up. She posted right outside the door knowing damn well the principal was holding her. So I was like, okay, bitch, all right. So as soon as class is dismissed, it's already time to go home, mind you. Like, this shorty was walking in front of me. Like, girl, is you dumb? Like, I could literally catch you behind your back. But I was like, nah, we're gonna make it fair. Her grandma picks her up, bro. When I tell you that she had the balls to laugh, look at me and look at her grandma. Her and her old ass fucking granny look at me and start laughing, bro. I was like, ain't no way her and her fucking granny are talking shit about me. The fuck? Bitch, you're about to die. The fuck? My bad, because TikTok people be sensitive. And I was super cool with the security guard. I was like, yo, mister, I'm warning you, I'm gonna fight the bitch tomorrow. He hit me with a, no, it's not worth it, no, woo. I was like, bro, nah. Shorty keep talking shit and, like, she think I'm some weak bitch. So next day comes around. Girl, when I tell you, I wake up, I don't even put makeup on. I'm ready to squabble up, you know? I slick my hair down, right? Like, I'm talking about slick, tight ponytail, extra hairspray, extra gel, no lashes, and rings. Bro, I pull up fast as hell to school that morning. I pull up, but I'm like, I'm not gonna fight her this early. I'm gonna wait till second period. Woo. Second period comes around. I see her walking. I was like, yo, bitch. I was like, stop talking so much shit, bitch, and running, hoe. The fuck? When I tell you, her and her little fucking friend laughed at me, I was like, oh, you wanna laugh, puta? And this one guy in particular saw me pressing her. So he was like, oh shit. So me and him start walking in class. The same class we had her in. Second period. And he was like, oh, once we go in, he was like, oh, are you gonna fight her? Like, out loud, bro. Me being already mad as fuck, I was like, yes, but the bitch don't want to post up with her fucking fake ass. Girl, I said out loud, I ain't give a fuck. Back then, I was a little, you know, little ghetto. Class starts and they take away our phones. Tell me why this bitch waits till we all get our phones back. This bitch feeling bold. She's like, so what you say about me? What you say about me? I didn't even argue with her. I was like, run it. She did not motherfucking run it. So I ended up throwing the first punch where I fucked up. Boom, boom. We started tussling. Tell me what this girl starts pulling my hair, bro. Like, in the video, you can see she pulls my hair first. I get mad. I say, boom, on the edge of the table. Like, it's not, the fight wasn't like, oh my God. No, it was a little small fight. But still, boom, she's on the ground. I start punching her. She ends up biting my middle finger. She was hungry for me. Fast forward, the fight's over. She's from her nose and mouth where her dumb ass just goes like this and ends up spreading it all over her face. Then the principal comes in rushing. She's like, oh my God, did you? And I was like, nope, the fuck? And fast forward, her parents ended up pressing charges on me. And she swore that she was about that life, that she was a gangster. Bitch, what the fuck? And due to TikTok regulations, I don't think I could post it on here. But I'll post it on my close friends. So follow me on Instagram. If you know, you know. But yeah, that bitch ended up pressing charges and acted like the victim in front of the judge and said that I was bullying her. So there you guys have it. That's the story time when I fought this fucking stupid ass girl.
My prom date ditched me without telling me. So there's two main people you need to know to get this story. First, there's a guy, let's call him Ethan. And there's a girl, let's call her Claire. So me and Ethan have known each other for a long time. We were never really friends. We never knew each other that well. But we had been snapping for a long time. And recently, me and Ethan had been snapping, like, back and forth. Like, we were, like, snapping, right? So one Friday night, he's like, hey, like, I'm having a party tonight. You trying to come? Of course, me. Obviously, I'm going to say yes. I mean, this boy, like, Ethan, he's so attractive, guys. Like, I think he's gorgeous. I always will. He is a grade younger, though. And I'm a senior in high school, which makes him a junior. But whatever. I was like, okay, yes. Like, I'm coming. Like, I'll be there. I get a ride from my friend Maddie. We have the same name, so, like, twins. I'm rooming with her next year. She takes me to this party. Me and Ethan talk a little bit here and there, but I'm not really talking to him that much. However, he ended up giving me a ride home, and he was like, if you ever want to, like, hang out, like, text me. So the next couple days go by, he texts me, what you doing, like, want to do something tonight? I'm pretty sure we just got Chipotle. And then I ended up going back to his house, and his family was talking to me and all this stuff, but, like, they were giving me, like, relationship vibes, and, like, guys, like, I don't want that. Like, I just got out of a relationship a couple months ago. I'm not looking for anything like that. But I was like, okay, whatever. Like, it's chill. Like, I'm sure that's not what he wants either. He also got out of a relationship recently, and a lot sooner than I did. But it was fine. We had fun. We hung out again, I think 2 more times. Then, this one night, I was about to leave. He was driving me home, and he kissed me goodbye. It was a really good kiss, actually. A very good kisser. Good for him. Okay. And just to escalate things a little bit more, Take My Breath Away was playing. Like, it was like a movie scene. Like, I don't know what was going on. My arms, they're so tired. But it was like, the scene was set, okay? The scene was set, let me tell you that. The next day, this boy, Ethan, doesn't respond for a long time. Mind you, in these few couple days that we've been hanging out, we decided that we were going to prom together. We had decided that we were going to prom together. We pinky promised that we would not cancel and that we were going. Like, we were locked into prom, okay? He didn't have a date, I didn't have a date. Like, we were going to prom together. Pinky promised twice. You don't break pinky promises, like, unless you're, like, insane. You don't break a pinky promise. But whatever. Anyway, the day after the kiss, he wasn't responding the entire day. Nothing. No text.
I think I was undelivered for like 20 hours when I finally got a response. It was dry, whatever. So a couple days go by, we're barely snapping. I'm like, okay, like this boy, like, where is he at? Like, what's he doing? I start to get texts from my friends. They're all like, Ethan is going to prom with Claire. Claire is a very pretty girl who goes to another school. My response obviously was, no, he's not. I'm going to prom with Ethan. I'd been going around saying that I was going to prom with Ethan. Ethan was going around saying that he was going to prom with Claire. But the only person that Ethan did not say or did not tell he was going to prom with Claire was to me. Ethan was not going to inform me that he was going to prom with another girl. Everybody else knew, except for me. Sometimes I genuinely do not understand what goes through guys' heads. And I don't think they do either. So finally I text Ethan. I say, WTF, you're going to prom with Claire? He doesn't respond for hours. The end of the day comes. I get a, yeah, but there's more than that. Like, I'm listening. So I said, okay, I'm listening. Again, a whole another night, a whole another day goes by. End of the next day, he responds. This whole paragraph about how it was just too stressful with me and he thought that I wanted a relationship, and I had to stop him right there. I did not want a relationship with a junior. I don't want a relationship with anybody, but especially not a junior. And I told him that his ego was way too high because not every girl wants him. Boys need to be humbled. Why do we not tell them this more often? Not every girl you talk to wants you. Yeah, you're cute. Yeah, you're cute. I'll give you that. You were sweet while we were talking. But that doesn't mean I want to date you. That's not what that means. I'm going to college in a couple months. And you're going to be in high school. I do not want you. But you don't cancel prom. And if you're going to cancel prom, maybe tell the girl that you're supposed to go with that you're canceling. Just a little bit of advice.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the creep that was sitting in front of me on my plane to America. So I just recently went to America from Melbourne. Like, I went straight to LA. We didn't have a stopover. And the flight is 14 and a half hours. So you kind of like get to know the people sitting like around you. So we made friends with the lady sitting next to us. She was really nice. But it was about halfway through the flight that I started to notice the man sitting diagonally across from me. So he was in front of my mum, but I could like see him there. So it was about halfway through the flight when I started to notice this man, because I think I had already watched the entire first season of Sex and the City, and that's all they had on my flight, only the first season. So I was getting bored and I was just like looking around for something else to do. And this man had obviously bought the Wi-Fi on the plane because he was scrolling through Twitter. So me being the kind of like snoopy person I am, I was looking at his screen just because I wanted something else to look at. So at first he was just scrolling through Twitter, just looking at like Trump updates and like Elon Musk, because this was the day that Trump had just gone into office. So he was obviously looking at all what was happening with everything going on. And then he scrolled onto this post that said, do women really love getting as much as guys love getting pussy? And he scrolled onto the comments and reposts. And he was like reading through all of the women's answers and stuff. And you know what? I understand being sometimes curious about like how the other gender thinks and stuff. So I didn't really think much of it. I was like, okay, maybe he's just curious about this certain topic. And then he went back to like the main Twitter feed and he scrolled on to the next post. And the next post was 9 things you should never do to your dick. And he went into the comments and he started reading about that. And at this point, I'm getting a little bit like icked out. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he reading so much about dick and pussies? And then it gets worse. And he looks up this account, which seemingly at first just looks like a normal photography account. Like, it's just some guy's photography page. I was very wrong though. The photography page was actually, it was this one artist and he photographed women naked. Okay, you know what? That's a form of art, like, whatever. not a big issue to me. But this guy was obviously using these photos in a way they were not intended, because he was scrolling onto each individual photo, clicking on it and zooming in on these women. Like, it might be a woman in a field and she's like a centimeter big in the picture. He was zooming in and looking at her. And I literally clocked straight away. I was like, oh, okay, this is really weird. And he was probably doing this for a good, like, maybe 10 minutes. And my mum had just woken up from a nap. And I said to mum, like, okay, like, try and have a look at what he's doing. Like, I was whispering it. I wasn't fucking being loud. And mum looks over and she's like, what the fuck? Because he's literally zooming in on every single photo of these women, analysing it, looking at, like, certain parts of her. And I'm like, what's happening? And so mum says, like, quite loudly, like, what the fuck, that's weird. And he starts going like this. And he's looking at my reflection, looking at his phone, like, through his phone. And he starts, like, going like that. And I, like, look away. I'm like, oh, I'm not looking. And he immediately shuts down his phone. And, like, I think he started going on the movies thing. And from that moment forward, anytime this man would open his phone, me and him would make intense eye contact through the reflection. And look, I might be extremely wrong about what his intentions were. It's just, sue me. It's what it looked like. Anyways, let me know if you've ever had any weird encounters on airplanes.
Story time on how one of my close friends started fucking my ex and, like, how I found out and stuff. Okay, I kind of made, like, a video about this before, but I didn't really go into details on, like, how I found out and, like, her lying to me about it for so long. Okay, I found out in, like, October, oh my gosh, of 2024. But backstory, me and her were friends. Like, we became really close in, like, this summer, like, when we went to functions, and, like, I stayed over her house, like, we talked every day. Yeah, we were close. And, like, this whole summer, I was, like, on my ex. Like, we were just, like, me and my ex were just, like, talking and fucking and all that. This one has way more. I don't even know why I was using my old one. I forgot that I had a new one. But, okay, what the fuck? Anyways, so, like, me and my ex, we weren't getting back together in the summer, but we were just, like, talking, like, still, and messing around, and, like, she knew that. Like, a lot of people knew that. Like, I think everybody knew that. Okay, well, like I said, it happened in October, like, them, like, fucking, and I didn't know till, like, a month. I don't even think it's been a month. Has it been? Maybe, like, a month. I think it was, like, January. So, yeah, a month ago. I also have not done my makeup in, like, 3 days, so I hope it, like, looks good, because I haven't had makeup on me in a minute. Okay, so I ended up asking her about it, like, the whole situation, because one of his friends ended up telling me about it. They were like, Miley and my ex, they were in a room for a while, and I was just like, oh, okay. So I asked her about it. I asked him about it too, but, like, I don't really care on his part, because, like, I did him wrong in situations, and, like, he's done me wrong before, but he did me wrong again. So I was like, okay, I don't even care about his situation, because, like, we're not dating anymore. It's more the principle on her situation, on her side. Because, like, that's my friend, and, like, she literally knows how I am when it comes to my ex. Well, obviously she did, but, like, I don't care about him anymore. I don't care. So I asked her about it, and she was, like, denying it. She was like, I would never, ever do that to you. I was like, okay. I was like, whatever, I don't even care. I was like, I'm just moving on from the whole situation, so I did. So then I heard it again that, like, they fucked, and I was like, I don't believe it. So I ended up calling her this time. Like, the first thing she, like, said to me, like, when she answered, she was like, if this is about Caleb, oh, I said his name. I don't even care. She's like, if this is about him, then I don't want to argue. I don't want to speak to him. I don't want to speak about it. Like, me and him didn't fuck. I was like, okay. So I still asked her, because I never gave a fuck. That's my ex. You don't do that. Sorry, I'm just remembering how nasty she is. It's really bad. Not even that she, like, fucked my ex, because of shit she does. I want to use this. I never really do contour, so I don't know what I'm doing. So let me know in the comments. Oh my god, I think I put it too low. Then, like, don't they do their nose like this? I don't know. Oh my god. Like, don't people put it here? I don't use contour, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, there was 2 different shades. I could have used the lighter one, but isn't contour? Okay, I ended up asking her about it, the whole situation,
And she lied. And I was like, I already know the truth. Can you just tell me? I was like, you literally owe me that. I need a new highlighter. This shade is not good. She was like, oh, my grandma's grave. Like, I didn't do that. I didn't do it. And I was like, okay, you're lying to me. Tell me the fucking truth, like, right now. So she was like, I did it. But you have no reason to be mad. Bitch, the fuck do you mean I have no reason to be mad? Do you know who you're speaking to? I was crying, but I wasn't, like, bawling my eyes out. I was just like, she did that to me, and then I was like, and he did that to me, but, like, I don't really care on his part. I also, like, recorded everything, like, of me and her talking. So, like, if you guys, like, want to see the video, I got you. So I ended up asking my ex about the whole situation, too, and he was, like, not answering me. Like, we ended up arguing really bad. And, like, we're not dating, but, like, it's just, like, ew. Her. Like, out of all people, her. But, hey, it is what it is. It's whatever at this point. I'm moving past that. Makeup. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Okay, story time on how I found out I was pregnant and how I told my parents while I do a get ready with me for Thanksgiving. Okay, so starting off from the beginning, around May, like the first week of May, I got invited to a party, and around that time, my period was about a month late, I want to say. I had already been noticing for a while that my period was late, but I didn't really think anything of it because I have a really irregular period, and I thought it was just from stress because I had finals during that time. So I assumed like I was just stressing a lot because I had so many exams, and I didn't really have any symptoms either besides my period being late. Anyways, so my friend invites me to a party, and I'm like, okay, my period's really late, so I was keeping that in mind. And I go get dinner with one of my best friends, and I'm like telling her like about the party and that my period was late and like how I didn't want to be drinking if I was pregnant, because you know that was obviously a possibility, but I didn't really think I would be, but I was like, just in case, like I want to take a test. So after dinner, we go and we buy the test, and literally guys, like this is so embarrassing. The Walmart we went to, the pregnancy tests are locked, so you literally have to press the button to get an associate to take it out for you, and a man comes and he literally grabs it and he walks me in front of all of Walmart and walks me, ignore my nose, and walks me to the checkout aisle with the pregnancy test in his hand for the whole world to see. So I was obviously very humiliated to let the whole world see that I was going to be taking a pregnancy test. But anyways, I get home, I take it, literally guys, that's how fast it came out positive. When I tell you, like, I thought it was broken. So I automatically, obviously, tell my best friend, and me and her are both in shock because, like, yeah, even though my period was late, I genuinely did not think I was pregnant because I had no symptoms at all. Even to this day, I really never had any symptoms. Like, I never got morning sickness. Like, I just didn't really have any symptoms besides, I did have a lot of hormonal acne, though. Like, my face and skin was at the worst it had ever been. And so after I tell my best friend, I obviously have to tell the dad of the baby, and me and him were not on speaking terms. We literally had each other blocked on everything, and we're both doing our own thing already. And by the way guys, he's not like a random guy. This hair is driving me crazy. We dated for 3 years, so I didn't just like get pregnant by like a random ass guy, if that's what you're thinking. So I unblock him and I tell him the news. He thinks it's a joke, but I was obviously not joking, because why, like, first of all, me and him could not stand each other during this time, so it's like, why would I willingly want to reach out to you and play a joke when we don't even want to speak to each other? But yeah, neither of us believed it. So a couple days later, he buys me 3 more tests just to be sure, and they all come out positive. All of them. So I end up telling my older sister because I obviously had no idea what I was gonna do, and then I end up telling my aunt about it because I was obviously freaking out about how I was gonna tell my parents. So she made me an appointment to do like a confirmation pregnancy test, and she was like, let's just know for sure before you actually have to tell your parents. So we do the confirmation test, and it's also positive. 4 tests all came out positive, and I was, oh no, 5 tests, and I was still in denial, guys. Like literally I could not get it through my head. And so at this appointment they end up telling me like how far along I am, and they tell me I am literally 2 months pregnant. When I tell you, like even to this day I'm still like, I still can't believe it. But they were telling me I was 2 months and that I was going to be due in December. Could you imagine finding out you're pregnant in May and then finding out you're going to have the baby the same year? That's literally no time to process it. Like, how was I supposed to find out I was already 2 months and the baby was going to be coming the same exact year? So, then basically reality starts to set in. Not really, but more like the consequences are like coming to me now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like my parents are literally gonna kick me out, because they've always told me like if I get pregnant, I'm out the house. Where am I at though? Anyways, they always tell me they're gonna kick me out the house, and then my parents are also very old school, so very much like I need to get married before I have kids. So I was like, crap, like they're gonna make me get back with my ex and make us get married and live together. And I was literally like, I was dreading that. And so basically like we're trying to think of when will be the right time to tell my parents, because my mom, her intuition is scary and she catches on like that. Oops, it's kind of looking crazy. Like literally, I shit you not, the day I took the first pregnancy test after dinner with my best friend, I sit down on the couch with my parents and my mom looks at me and she's like, do you have anything you need to tell me? And I was like, bro, like how does she know already? Like anytime I do something sneaky behind her back and my mom hits me with that line, I'm like, how does she know? Like what the hell is in her head telling her that I'm doing something? And then my mom starts to notice like little things, I guess, and starts making like a bunch of like little pregnancy joke comments, and I'm literally like, bro. And then she started noticing like it had been a while since I had bought pads, or that I had started my period, because all of us are in sync, like me, my mom, and my younger sister. So she started to notice like it had been a minute. And I was originally gonna wait till I was like entering my 2nd trimester to tell my mom, just to be safe. But obviously I was running out of time because my mom was catching on very quickly, and like every time I wanted to tell her, it was like something coming up. It was like Mother's Day, so I was like, I can't tell her before Mother's Day. And then she got really sick for a week, so I couldn't tell her because she was sick, and then she was like stressing with other things, so it was like never the right time to tell her, you know what I mean? And basically like it's just eating me up inside, so I'm like, okay, I need to tell my parents and like spit it out already, because I'm gonna go crazy and they're gonna find out any second. So basically we're like at the end of May already, and I tell my aunt and my sister like, hey, I'm gonna tell my mom like I need y'all. And so my aunt like basically tells me like if I need a place to stay, I can go stay with her if like things go bad, and like my sister comes so that she can help me break the news to my parents. So my sister comes over and she calls my mom to my room, and she tells my mom basically that she's gonna be a grandma. And my mom thinks that my sister is talking about herself, because my sister is like 30. So obviously my mom's gonna assume that my sister is what making her a grandma. Okay, I'm gonna finish up my makeup real quick and put on my outfit. I'll be back to finish the story. Okay, makeup, outfit, whatever. Back to the story. Unfortunately for my mom, it was not my sister making her a grandmother, it was me. And my mom has no grandkids, so I'm the first one to make her grandma basically. And she was obviously very angry and was like, what the hell? Like, I'm pretty sure you can assume what my mom was telling me. And she basically told me that I had to tell my dad, and I'm like, I'm not looking my father in the eye and telling him I'm pregnant, because I am my dad's firstborn. So imagine having to tell your dad that his first baby girl is pregnant. No, I did not have it in me. So my sister goes and tells him for me. So my sister tells my dad thinks my sister is joking. He calls me to the room to confirm that it was not a joke, and I was like, nope, it's not a joke. And they were both very angry with me, obviously, and thankfully they didn't kick me out, but he just told me to go to my room. And when I came to my room, I just started packing my things, because even though like they didn't throw me out, I still wanted to give them their space because I knew things were going to be too intense at home, and it just wasn't going to be good for me to be here during my first trimester because I would be stressed out really bad. So I packed my things and I go stay with my aunt for a few weeks. And then basically, like, once things have calmed down at my house, I come back and I'm here now. And yeah, fast forward, I'm 37 weeks tomorrow. So this baby is about to pop any second, if you can't tell, like literally. But yeah, so they're still kind of trying to process and accept it, and so am I, but I'm sure they're happy now. And the baby's dad is in the picture. We're just not together, but we're both equally committed to having a healthy co-parent relationship for the sake of the baby and to give our baby the best life regardless of our differences. And we get along. It took us a while to start getting along, but we both put our differences aside, obviously, because our feelings aren't what is important. The baby's what's important. And yeah, so here's to a healthy co-parenting relationship. Anyways, here's dress, makeup. Hope you enjoyed the story time. I'm gonna go eat.
Story time and how we got grounded for the next 10 years of our life, or until we move out. Okay, so basically last night we were watching a movie and like we were watching TikTok and stuff, but it wasn't like we weren't having any fun. And so there's this guy that like added me on Snap, and I added him back, and him and his friend liked us and was asking if he could pick us up and like take us to his spot. And we didn't like think anything bad about it, and we were bored, and my mom was sleeping, so we left. They literally took us to McDonald's, and we were like, this is your spot? And he was like, yeah. We were like, okay, whatever, like it's better than just being at home. We live like close to another state, and so they're like, okay, we should like drive up to that state, and we were like, no, like we're not gonna leave the state in midnight.
And then we left the state.
And the roads were really empty because it was so late at night. And so we were going like 120 and an 80. And of course, the one time we had to get pulled over was by her uncle. And so I was like, hide, Julia, because I want him to see her. I didn't know if he'd recognize me. And that obviously just made it like more suspicious. So then we all had to get out, and he searched the guy's car. And then he found out that we were like younger. And it turns out those guys were literally like 24 and 25. We literally thought they were like 16. So yeah, then we drove home by the police
And I have to like stay at her house. I'm not even allowed to go.
Yeah, because she basically got kicked out, but she wasn't like there to get kicked out, so she just got like, I don't know. It's a long story. But those guys, like, they went to jail because there's a bunch of other stuff that they like were doing or like had in their car or something. I don't even know.
And we have boards on our windows, like,
yeah,
so we can't even get out.
we can't even like leave. So
we're just gonna have to go at our sister's for now because my sister lives here too.
Julia, oh my gosh, she's opening up another one. Anyways, my mom took away our shoes. We don't know why, but she did. Do you guys think we should just like do ASMR for the rest of our careers? But guys, I have to get my nails done, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Like, I really need to get them done.
We'll just have to get those guys to take us again.
But guys, comment what we should. Okay, but I'm gonna finish my lashes. But wish us luck, guys. Bye, love you.
Get ready with me for school story time on the school block. He watches my video, so he's going to see this video and text me, and he's gonna get mad. But it's okay because we're getting content, right? Don't mind dance moms in the background. I didn't change the video when I was listening to SZA. Okay, we're gonna call this guy Elijah, and if you're to my school, you know exactly who I'm talking about. One day there's this new kid, you know, Elijah. Everyone was like, ooh, who's this? Da, 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 da. So then I hear, oh, he thinks you're fine. I should have stopped at that moment and been like, who is this kid? Because you come in your first day and you already have a victim. Listen, I wasn't even the first victim. It was this girl named Kayla Scott, and they were talking, right? Then Kayla plays in his face and then basically breaks up with him. So then after that, he thinks it's time to with me. At that time, you know, I was still fresh out of 6th grade. And I don't really take middle school relationships seriously. Mind you, I'm in 7th grade now. I know it's hard to believe. Yeah. He meets this boy because, you know, boys can walk past the hall. Wait, what? Boys can look at each other, walk right past each other, and still be friends. That didn't make any sense, but you guys know what I'm saying. So he asked his homeboy, he's like, ooh, who's that? Talking about me. And his homeboy's like, oh, yeah, that's that girl Kion. So a couple days goes by and stuff, right? And then my friend texts me, he's like, oh, Sam wants your number. I said his name. Okay, moving on. Basically, my friend was like, oh, he wants your number. And I said, okay, go ahead. Send him over, I guess. Because I really thought he was, like, a normal person. Like, I didn't know he was a bop. Trust me, I don't use the word bop incorrectly. Like, oh, my grandma just died, bop. Like, no, I'm not like that. So then we're texting, and I don't remember exactly everything that... Ooh, that's so satisfying. I don't remember exactly everything that we said, but basically he's calling me cute and stuff. And, you know, we start talking. Eventually we start dating, and then after that, I hear something from my friends. My friends come to me and they're like, oh, you know, your man was yelling yap to this other girl, which now I'm friends with the girl. At first I didn't know her. And I said, oh, like, oh. So then I'm wondering, like, okay, well, what happened? Like, I want to know the story. Basically, they were walking in PE or something because my friends had PE with him, and he yelled out the yap to this girl. So I asked him, and I'm like, did you do that? He's like, no, making up this fake story. But at the time, I was like, are my friends trying to be bad friends and trying to get me out of a relationship? Like, what? But no, really, they're just trying to be good friends. Bro, this video is getting so long, and I'm not even done with my makeup. Okay, I'm gonna do my lash combo off camera. Okay, difference. Okay, setting spray time. It's literally out. Like, come on, Sephora. Okay, this is the final look, but literally come back for part 2 because I can't share everything in 4 minutes. Girl, it looks better with the headband. Bye, y'all.
Get ready with me while I tell you about my nightmare of a high school experience. First of all, I just want to say, if you're having a bad high school experience, life does get better. High school is literally where people peak for no reason. Okay, so basically, I was in like 7th or 8th grade. I think 7th, at the end of 7th grade when COVID like hit the world. And obviously, like, it was like the 2-week thing, and then we just like never came back to school. So like, and this is when I like went to a new school. So like, I didn't really know anybody, but like I did like a weird in between. So 8th grade, just like literally every other single person in this world, like when the world shut down, like we didn't have school, obviously. So like I didn't really get into like, I kind of like, okay, so that's when my whole like big ass eating disorder started, and I just kind of fell off the face of the planet Earth. So then I was like missing like all the events. Like I basically just didn't go to anything. So that was fucking amazing. I think freshman year is like when we started to go back to school and like everything became like a little normal when I got home from like the mental hospital and shit. And that's just like awkward because you come back and it's like, hey, but like nobody really cares, but like you feel like people care, like. And this is like when I went like psycho crazy because I felt like I missed out on so much, even though I really fucking didn't. But oh my god, I gotta go let my dog in. So I just kind of like lost my sauce and all of that, and I was always like the type of person that had like one best friend. Like I would never like be in like a group of friends. Like I'd always just have like a singular best friend. And I think it's just because like my personality is like very like I like deep connections, not just like kind of like surface level, if that makes sense. Honestly, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I was like just genuinely like not mentally there, and like somehow I just became like the most hated person in my town. I really don't know how. I got to be like friends with like not the best people, and like just like all this stuff that just like all of it just like added up, and none of it was good. I like couldn't keep friendships, and I think that was like self-reflective of like how I felt about myself like at the time, and like just like a lot of catastrophes were happening, to say the least. So then I started online school, which was like literally the best thing that could have happened to me at the time. Like I needed just to get away and all that stuff, and I graduated from online school. Yeah, coming for part 2.
Story time, how my grandma broke me and my first love up. Y'all might be thinking, bitch, how? So I met this dude back my sophomore year, like the beginning of sophomore year. Bro, when I tell you, I saw him, shit, my saliva got stuck. But I saw him, it was like during a lunch, right? And I had told my friend, I was like, yo, I want him, bro. Give me his Instagram ASAP. So that's what she does. Alright, so boom, she gets the Instagram and he's like, so who's your friend? Boy, my friend was like, that one right there, bro. I'm over there sitting like what the fuck, bro? So then, bro, he literally comes up to me and then we start talking, bro. Literally out the blue, we start talking. He was like, oh, what's your next class or whatever, and I'm like, no, bro. I was just like, oh, I got history with my friend. He's like, I'll walk you. Boom, he walks me, bro. Tell me why the fuck he asked me out. Who in the fuck right mind ask a person out? What? You barely all known me for 5 minutes, bro. You only known me for 4 fucking minutes. Y'all probably like, bitch, I don't want to hear that bullshit, bro. Okay, I'm gonna skip the part. Fast forward. I said yes, me being delusional as fuck. Couple months have passed, right? So my grandma starts noticing I'm talking to somebody, and she's like, ¿Con quién hablas, mija? Typical grandma. So I tell her, oh, nothing. A, we're gonna name this fucker A. And she's like, oh, let me talk to him. And I was like, girl, bye. Like, no. She's like, don't be mean. Like, no, I need to get to know him. You know, you're young, and you know, I need to know who you be hanging around with. So she did. Fast forward a couple more months, she was like, oh, he's a nice guy, you know, like, start bringing him to the house, you know, so we could get to know him better. Bro, literally I did, and I told him, do not sag, do not sag, do not sag, please. And this one day in particular is where things changed my grandma's perspective on him. So me and my grandma, being a Mexican as grandma, you know how nosy they are. So literally she has searched him up on Facebook, bro. On fucking Facebook. I didn't even have Facebook. And this one day he comes over to the house, and my grandma was like, so mijo, have you tried any drugs or smoked weed? We, you know, we. And before, like a couple days before this happened, I had told him, do not trust my grandma. Do not trust my grandma. She may be a sweet old lady, but she'll literally like screw us over if you're too comfortable, you know, if you tell her your deepest, darkest secrets. He didn't believe me with his stupid ass. So as soon as my grandma asked him that, he dead ass looks at me and looks back at her and is like, yes. But when I tell you, I fucking hit my fucking forehead so hard, I was like, child, I'm disappointed in you, fam. My grandma's face, bro, was like, gah! And was like, why would you do that, you know, like, blah, blah. So literally from there, like, he was like, oh, like, because I got medicated with it, da, 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 da. You know, Mexican grandmas, as soon as you do any type of pills, drugs, weed, you are no good. So ever since, my grandma never liked him for me. She was just like, oh, break up with him, break up with him, break up with him. And me being delusional as fuck, I was like, no, I'm not gonna break up with him. I'm not gonna break up with him. Like, you can't tell me what to do. Girl, I was only like, what, 15, 16 at the time? Like, don't get me wrong, a mí se me valía verga antes, pero ya no. Ahora sí me importa. So here's where the juicy chisme starts. My grandma literally starts noticing everything started going downhill from there on then. Why, you may ask? Because this guy started putting me in his old habits, like ditching school, all of that bullshit, bro, like doing drugs. Like, he was the one to introducing to me at first, and my grandma wasn't stupid. She was paying attention to what the fuck I was doing. I thought I was slick and smart with it, because one time I was ditching, right, and she had called me, but I didn't answer. I had to walk back to school and answer it. I was like, what happened, mom? What happened? She's like, where are you? I was like, oh, I'm here at this auditorium because I'm taking a test, you know, like auditorium. At this fucking classroom, I meant, my bad. I was like, I'm at this classroom because I'm taking like a test, a state test, you know. She bought it, bro. Or so I thought. This ditching shit and getting high and all that stuff went on for more than 3 months. Until he started to change too, not just me. It got to the point where one time me and him have gotten into an argument at the bleachers, right, in front of my friends. And you know me, like, I was just trying to like de-escalate the situation. I was like, okay, well, let's not argue in front of people. This man had chips in his hand and dead ass threw it in my face, bro. He grabbed like a chunk of chips and threw it at my face. So then, bro, literally I was left speechless. I was like, what the fuck? So little stuffs like that started happening, you know. And me being a little girl, like, I started getting depressed. I stopped eating. I would cry every single day, bro, until one day my grandma was like, ¿Y por qué chingados lloras? And me being like, es que no. Girl, I was crying for that damn motherfucker. Because, bro, literally it would get to the point where he even shoved me against a wall at school, bro. And the teacher was like, are you guys okay? And I was like, jeez, knowing damn well I was fucking lying. I was not okay, bro. So one day my grandma catches me
She catches me straight up. She's like, I know you've been ditching behind Walmart. Da 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 da. And me being a dumbass, I was like, no cierto, no. You're tripping. Like, girl, I was a little desmothered too. Like, I ain't an angel myself. So then she's like, you know what? Give me your phone. Here's where shit starts to get the moment y'all been waiting for. So tracas, I give her my fucking phone. I run to my room, girl. I lock myself. I start fucking playing sad music. I didn't give no fucks. Until she came into my room and was like, mija, don't be sad, girl. No. She hit me with the, es que mija, lo que andas haciendo no es bueno. Back then, I was a selfish little brat. Trust me, I look back at it and I'm like, pinche mocosa pendeja. Over for a guy? Over for a pitito? Come on. So literally, she's like, just give me your password, you know, I'll give you your phone back. Me being stupid as fuck, I gave her my fucking password thinking I was gonna get my fucking phone back. Cap, I did not. So I give her the password, she leaves my fucking room and she does not come back at all. I literally wake up the next day. It's a school week. It was a school day, so I had to go to school. I start getting ready all happy as fuck. I'm like, I'm gonna go see my man. I'm gonna go see him. This bitch can't stop me. So bro, I'm all happy and shit, about to leave to go catch the bus. Bro, when I tell you my grandma opens the door and is like, tú no vas a ir a ningún lado, my heart dropped to my booty hole, bro. Fuck my booty hole, to my fucking toenails, bro. I was just like, what? Why? And she's like, yo ya sé lo que estabas haciendo. Bro, I even got more scared because she looked so serious, bro. I was like, so my grandma found out me and him were doing the coochie coo, and I had missed my period. Fast forward more, we went to Walgreens. She was mad as fuck at Walgreens. She's like, oh my fucking god, you better not be. Yo, abort that shit. And me being delusional, I was like, no, I'm gonna keep it. Like, I wanna evaluate it. Bitch, please. So we get home, I take the test, comes out negative. She gets so mad. She's like, and now you're not gonna go to fucking school for shit. So I deadass don't go to school for like a whole month or two. And then literally like 2 months later, 3 months later, she drops me out, changes my phone number. She took away my phone, bro, and was like, you're not allowed to have any communication with him. And literally, bro, I was so fucking depressed for that. Like, this bitch, she didn't give no fucks, bro. Like, my grandma was like, you're not gonna see him whatsoever. She made sure of that, bro. She moved me to this school, to this alternative. Bro! Okay, back to whatever I was saying. Like, she moved me to this alternative school where I couldn't even leave the damn classroom. I couldn't ditch. Like, it was so strict, bro. And literally, she didn't even give me my phone till like almost towards the end of the year, sophomore year. And I found out he had a girlfriend. And I was just like, damn, like, he really moved on. Like, after what the fuck I went through, like, ese güey valió verga. Like, he found himself a new fucking booty. Like, what? Bro, and literally last year, he had texted me while I was at Disney World. And he told me he needed somebody, a friend, and me being delusional. I was like, he came back, and all for him to tell me I got a girl pregnant, and and I was like, that ruined my whole fucking Disney trip. For y'all bitches that hate on my fucking blush, fuck you, because it's not even a lot, bro. And y'all hoes need to stop calling me Mencha Blush or fucking Juju. Please, respectfully, please. Thank you. So, there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoy. Comment below what more story times I should do.
Embarrassing things I did this school year. Okay, so I had a crush on the girl, and the first time I found out she liked me back, I was on my way to theater class, and like the class and nobody likes me, and I'm the weird kid in. And I was so happy and stuff, and of course I was in my feels because I just found out this girl liked me back. So I'm in class and I'm about to listen to my music to get into my feels, and on full blast in front of the whole class in silence. My headphones weren't plugged in, so all everyone heard was, I thought that I was dreaming when you said you loved me. Literally minus 5,000 plus aura. Like, I have not recovered from that one. Next, I was in a stall with like 4 girls, and I was trying to impress these girls so bad. So there was like a towel missing in the roof, so I was like, look, there's a towel missing in the roof. So I climbed into it, went like 2 seconds later, and I fell through, and I made a thump on the ground, and everyone looked at me in silence. No one laughed. No one helped me up. Last things last, this one's not as bad, but I told some kid to shut up, and it went completely silent. this kid started saying I wore too much makeup. He was yelling at me for the whole class. Silence. The bell was battering. He was just like, you're so ugly, Reno. You wear too much makeup. You're a cake facer. Yeah. And I just stood there.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I talk about why I no longer talk to my biological dad. Before I start, I just want to say this is not a sad story. This is a good thing, and I probably wouldn't be here today if this was not done. So if you guys didn't see my other video, basically I just talked about how my dad called my school and snitched on me for all these things I didn't actually do. So I ended up getting the most detentions and referrals at the school. So because of that, I was super depressed. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I was so sad. Like, I just hated everything. I got my phone taken away. I just literally had nothing. I was 12, by the way. So he noticed that I was acting depressed, which, wow, you're such a good father for noticing that I was sad. Like, love you so much for that. I'm kidding, obviously. But one day he picked me up from school. It was after I served my detention, and then we got home. He brought me to his room, and we like sat like freaking professionally. Like, I don't know what the hell this was. Like, I was literally just got back from school and got back from my mom's house. I didn't notice that I had been acting like more sad. When I tell you, I dreaded going to my dad's house. Like, every other Monday was the worst days of my life because I had to go back to my dad's house. And some people were asking, like, why didn't my mom do anything? Well, first of all, I was so young, like, I didn't realize that it was like that bad. I just thought that moms were naturally nicer because my stepmom was also super sweet to me. The thing is, if I were to tell my mom everything that was going on, like, and we took it to court or whatever, like, nothing would really get settled because he wasn't doing anything like physically wrong to me. Back to the story, he asked me, why are you so depressed, when I was just sitting in his room with him. I was like, I'm not depressed, like, I'm usually happy. And then I was like, when I'm at my mom's house, I'm usually happy when I'm at my mom's house. And I told him, I was like, actually, I don't know. I just feel a lot happier at my mom's house. And that was like me realizing that. And no joke, he says, get in the car. I said, okay. So I just like got in the car with like whatever I had already, like on, like my backpack on my back. Like, I didn't think I had to pack my belongings to go live at my mom's house forever. I didn't think that was the case. The way I'm telling it to you is exactly how it happened. There was no extra conversation. That was it. Unless my 12-year-old brain can't remember, that was exactly what happened. From what I just said, I'm sure you can assume what happened. He just took me to my mom's house, dropped me off, and that was that. Well, there was a slight conversation, and this like actually broke me. Like, I got out of the car and I grabbed my stuff. I was just assuming he was dropping me back off because he was upset at me. And so I was like, okay, bye, I love you. And he said, no, you don't, and tried to shut the trunk while I was still grabbing my stuff. Like, bro almost killed me and killed my soul. Like, bro killed my spirit and almost crushed my skull, bro. Obviously, that's really bad, but what's worse, and this makes me cry just like thinking about it, is when he texted my brother telling my brother he can't come back either. Well, actually, before I go on about that, my brother did have this phase where after I had gotten like kicked out or whatever, I didn't know what was going on. Like, my dad didn't text me anything. I thought I couldn't text my dad. I also had my phone taken away, and he still had it. Keep that in mind. My dad had my phone. My mom bought me the phone though, so that kind of became a problem, but he didn't want me to come back, but he still had my phone, and I still had a lot of stuff at his house. So to let you know, my mom eventually got the phone back, but I never got any of my stuff back. So 5 years later, all my stuff's still at his house. Anyways, after my dad quote unquote kicked me out, my brother hated me, and I didn't know why. And I kept asking him. He wouldn't talk to me. He thought I was like evil. And then eventually my dad kicked him out too, or like texted him like, just don't come back, like blah, 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 whatever. And then my brother finally told me, well, I was like, so why did you hate me so long? And he was like, well, he told us you did something really bad, but I forgot. You forgot? So I literally have no idea what it could be that like makes them hate me so much, because like not even a grandparent will reach out. Like, I feel like that's pretty bizarre. After my brother started liking me again, he told me that they just threw away all of my stuff, like including my freaking money if he didn't steal it for himself, because I had like $300. They're like, I know you're lying, bro. I know you're lying. Like, 300. The craziest part is that the only time he reached out was texting my brother, not even me. Bro can't even work up the courage to text me. He texted my brother and he said that our grandpa died, our dog died, and they moved to a $100 million house. Girl, I know he had money, but I didn't know he had that much money. And we did live in a really nice house, but it was nowhere near $100 million. Like, I know you're lying. And just so you know, I hope this doesn't dox me.
Okay, I'm not gonna dox myself, but we lived in the same neighborhood as like a really, really famous YouTuber, not Mr. Beast, a different famous YouTuber. And I would always talk about, oh my gosh, can like I be in one of his videos? Like he does stuff with neighbors a lot. Like, can I please be in one of his videos? My dad was like, no, like you're never gonna be famous. First of all, go look at my TikTok account. And second of all, when he said he moved to a $100 million house, he sent a YouTube video from that YouTuber and said it's this one. And the video was called most expensive house in blah blah blah. And just for the record, after he kicked me and my brother out a few years later, he became friends with this YouTuber. Like friends with him. Like there is a picture floating on the internet of them two sitting in like a Lamborghini together. Like how petty can you be? Like the revenge is crazy. So yeah, hopefully this YouTuber sees this video and sees my last name and recognizes it and realizes who he's friends with. I don't think they're bros. I think it was a one-time thing. Like, come on, bro. That's basically the story. The hardest thing for me is actually blaming like my dad himself, because I know he has a lot of mental issues and he like grew up not in a very good childhood and he suffers clearly from narcissism. So like I feel like I just can't really blame him. Like I know deep down that he cares, and that's like what sucks, because I can't just like hate him, you know? Also, it really sucks not being able to see my siblings on his side because we were really close. That's the end of the story. Let me know if you want specific ones from when I lived with him. They're crazy and some of my friends can vouch.